If you don't know, now you know that Christian Rodriguez is the truth, even when he goes out there and misses weight. Yes, he was the lock of the night prediction, and I had no worries when he came in 4 pounds over the bantamweight limit, as I know that this is kind of a normal thing for him, but he still goes out there and performs to the best of his abilities and is still able to go out there and showcase solid skills and still get his hand raised. I wish he gets his weight cutting under control, because he's going to be one of the better bantamweights that we've ever seen, considering how skilled and disciplined that this kid is. Even if you go back and watch his amateur fights, this kid is the truth. He has so much skill and so much technique and discipline that it would be a shame that if he gets cut from the UFC or if he continues to miss weight, and that ends up becoming his legacy. So we do hit Christian Rodriguez this past weekend as the lock of the night for UFC Vegas 81 at minus 145. And we also hit the lock of the night for the Cage Warriors card that happened this weekend as well. That brings our record now to 89-29 for the year, for a plus 28.85 unit profit and a 5% ROI. Again, my goal for the end of the year was about 50 units. We got, I think, 6 to 10 events left for the year, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to take a lot to get up there, and you got to be perfect almost the entire way. So we'll see if we can make that happen. But I'm going to try to readjust that goal to even like 40 units of profit at this point in time. But the goal is always to end up hitting it. All right. Let's get into the top 3 lock of the night predictions / candidates that I have for this weekend's UFC 294 card. If you want to find out what it actually is, what my official one will be, make sure you guys check out the lock of the night Patreon. Link to that is in the description below, as those guys already have access to it and they've already taken full control of that. So make sure you guys check it out before it gets too far out of hand. Now, I'll start this prediction off, or this video off, quickly by saying that this is a chalk heavy card. This is a card where we have only 2 favorites that are below minus 250 on this entire card. I believe Trevor Peek is one of them, and Saeed Nurmagomedov is another one of them. But it's chalk city pretty much. So you got to be careful in terms of the landmines that you're looking to parlay, or spots that you're even willing to take the chalk straight up on. As I've said in the past before, I don't mind taking chalk all the way up to minus 500 if I really feel confident in it. And that's why I've been so successful with the lock of the night predictions and profit this year, because I just don't care anymore in terms of people calling me a chalk donkey or anything regarding that. If I feel good enough about it, I know that I can hit it at a good enough rate that I can still be profitable for the year, and that's what this whole segment has proved for the majority of the year, and what the results are proving as well. All right, first candidate up for the lock of the night prediction that I have for you guys is Shara Magomedov, coming in at minus 250. He's going to be making his UFC debut this weekend, and it's a highly anticipated debut considering the amount of promos and highlight reels you've been seeing of the guy floating around over the last couple of years. A lot of it has to do with his menacing look with that one dead eye that he has, the frizzy hair, the beard, and then obviously his entertaining fighting style, which is a lot to do with his kicking style and just maintaining distance and battering his opponents from distance. He's finished 10 of his 11 victories, with most of them coming by knockout, and that's usually the way that he approaches his fights. In this fight against Bruno Silva, he's going up against another striker, but a guy that normally likes to utilize his hands more than his kicks. And I think that's going to be the difference here, as Magomedov should be able to utilize his speed, reflexes, and agility as his advantage, utilizing his kicking game from distance, damaging and frustrating Bruno Silva, and then using his hands whenever Silva crashes the pocket recklessly. At minus 250, UFC debutant, a lot of people believe he's overhyped. I think that this is the perfect price tag for him, which is why he's the first lock of the night candidate that I have for you guys. The second candidate I have for you guys is Nathaniel Wood, who is now 3-0 since moving up to 145 pounds. This seems like the weight class he should have been at the entire time, considering the fact that he was really killing himself to make it to 135 pounds. And you could see it later on in his fights when they would get into deep waters, or when he ended up getting knocked out by John Dodson. This guy now has great cardio. His fight IQ has always been there, and we know his skill set is very high level. I expect him to go out there and put on a perfect performance against Mohamed Naimov, who is a solid power striker with some decent wrestling, but his defensive wrestling is not the greatest, and I feel like he's going to struggle a lot in terms of the fact that Wood should be able to set the pace in this fight, utilize his speed, utilize his takedowns, and really just put the grind on Naimov here. I believe in Wood's durability, that he should be able to eat a shot should it come to it, but I think that he'll be able to put together a much better body of work over 15 minutes to get his hand raised, which is why I don't mind him at minus 330 here. And the final lock of the night prediction that I have for you guys / candidate, again, I only pick one of these three as my official lock of the night prediction, is going to be Magomedov Ankalaev, who comes in at minus 350 against Johnny Walker. This is a very pivotal light heavyweight matchup, as obviously Ankalaev fought for the vacant light heavyweight title last time around, and that fight ended up going to a draw, which left the title even more vacant. And now we have Yuri Prochazka and Alex Pereira fighting for it next month or in December, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, Ankalaev still one of the most complete fighters that we have at 205 pounds, from his disciplined and technical striking approach to his ability to take opponents to the ground and grind them out from that top position. His durability on point, his cardio on point, and his ability to just go out there and just put the pressure on his opponents when required, or just sit back and counter strike and be effective with that, is just very elite in my opinion. Johnny Walker is on a career best 3-fight winning streak, or at least tied for his career best winning streak in the UFC, and he looks good. You know, he's utilizing his power, his explosiveness, and just his straight up physicality to the best of his abilities. But this is an obvious step up from the Anthony Smiths and the Iwan Cuitlabas that he's been coming up against over the last couple fights. Give me Magomedov Ankalaev to go out there, paint a picture on Johnny Walker's face with his jab and his punches, and even mixing in some takedowns to make it look better for the judges. Minus 350. A lot of people might be scoffing at this one considering the low volume approach from Ankalaev, but he has shown time and time again that he goes out there and he still manages to get his hand raised because of how effective he is when he actually throws his strikes and when he's landing on his opponents and even landing takedowns as well. So there you guys go. Top 3 lock of the night candidates I have for you guys. If you want to find out which one I actually ended up going with, check the lock of the night Patreon in the link in the description below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the top 3 dog of the night candidates that I have for you guys. Again, you'll be able to find the official one on the lock of the night Patreon page. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Peace.